Hey friends, so there I was a few weeks ago. I was shooting a high school football game. One team was dominating the other, and I had a good idea what the next play was going to be, so I situated myself down about 30 yards downfield, right? So I'm sitting there waiting for this play to come this way, and sure enough, it's coming my way. I'm like, yes, got the camera, all set to go, lining up for the shot, going to get some really nice, sweet shots of the running back coming toward me. Defender's trying to tackle him. I push the button, nothing happened. Nothing. No clicky, no shutter going off, nothing at all. I checked the back of the camera real fast. Everything's powered up. Battery looks good. Nothing. So what happens? I missed the entire touchdown run. But that's okay though. This team, really good team. They scored lots more touchdowns. I got plenty of other shots after that. But the problem was, what's wrong with the camera? What happened? What's going on here? This is where it comes into you need to know your camera gear, because I took a step back, pushed the shutter button again, and I heard this. Now, if you've dealt with your camera, or you maybe in the past done self-portraits, this is the timer sound it was making. So, since I knew that sound, I knew what it was doing, it was easy. I just jumped into the menu system, because I knew my camera so well, I knew exactly where to go, and I was able to fix it. Now, sometimes, these type of things are buried deep in the menus, and if you don't know your camera very well, you cannot be able to find your problem and take care of it. It could take you 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. Now, I know. Google it. Jump on the internet and just look it up and find the problem. I couldn't do that at this school because they had no Wi-Fi available. What century do they think this is anyway? And also, I had no data. It was kind of a dead zone, just kind of floating around that I had no access to internet. I'm still not exactly sure how that setting got turned on. I have a rough idea. I must have been moving my camera, and I thought I did one thing and I ended up hitting the wrong button, and I turned it on, and this will happen more than you know. So you really need to know your camera gear, and imagine if you're shooting with more than one camera body. Or many years ago, this is what I used to have. I used to go to a game with the Canon XL2, an incredible camera for video recording. Its only drawback is let me show you, it's tape driven, so it's kind of outdated, but it still makes some great images. So I had this as well as one of these. So you can imagine juggling these around. I have two straps, this one around this side of my shoulder and this one around the other side, and you're going back and forth between each one. It's easy to hit a button and mess something up because you can't turn everything off. You need to leave it on so it's ready to go. So again, I've stated this in many videos before, you really need to understand your equipment. You need to know how it works. So if you come across a problem, and you will come across a problem, you're going to end up hitting a button you didn't realize you hit. Or possibly what's going to happen is you're going to hit a button and you're going to mess up your ISO, let's say. So your photos are going to be underexposed, maybe overexposed. So you're going to have to figure out, what did I do? How do I fix that? So you need to know your camera gear because it's going to happen. And I'm not just talking about the camera body that you need to know really well. I'm also talking about your lens, because I've seen individuals go to turn off their optical stabilization and they'll end up going from autofocus to manual. And they'll take some images and it's not focusing, and they're not quite sure why. So you need to know both the body and the lens as well. From time to time, you're going to run into an error message on your camera. It could be your SD card could be the problem. The lens may not be situated quite properly. And if you don't know how to quickly fix the problem, you might miss that award-winning shot that could be on the cover of ESPN magazine, or at least your local newspaper. So let's summarize this. At some point in time in your sports photography career, you're going to hit a button. It's going to mess some setting up, maybe a couple settings. You need to know how to fix that, because you might be in a playoff game or some situation where you need to be capturing those moments because they're going to be gone so quickly, it's never going to come back again. So grab your owner's manual, get your camera, study it, go through it. Don't do it all at one time. Do little bits and pieces here and there, and then grab your camera and get out and shoot.